ham and cheese. Pure.
Welcome to episode 60 of Chet and John's Reassuring Your Finite Gaming Playlist. My name is Chet Rovers. With me as usual is John Denton.
Yeah, boy.
As usual, same thing, you know the deal. Two top 10 lists. Number 10s are the games we've been playing the most over the past 7 days. The least even over the past 7 days. The number 1s are the games we've been playing the most. That's it, John. Let's have your number 10.
Number 10 is Portal 2 on the personal computer. It was £3.49, I think, on Steam last weekend, and this is going to be a recurring thing from now on, I think, because, well, that sounds like a good deal. I haven't played Portal 2 for a while. I could play it. And I put it on, I was like, oh, that looks nicer than the 360 version. And I woke up in that room, and Stephen Merchant starts talking to you, and I was like, yeah, I don't really want to play this. But I bought it anyway. Maybe I'll play through it again one day. It certainly looks nicer than the 360 version, and it is a true gleamer. But am I going to play all the way through again? Of course I'm not.
It wasn't that long though. It was like 10 hours of perfection.
Yeah, but I ain't got no time.
Yeah, true. I know what you're saying. What a waste of $3.50. You shouldn't have spent it in the first place, boy.
Yeah, but this is going to be a problem, I can tell.
Yeah, no, I've done that before. I do know what you mean. It's better to borrow them when you think you might have another go through.
True this.
Okay, my number 10 is the lamest thing ever. The lamest thing ever. I tried to get a quick 5 minutes on an iOS game or something to replace it, but I couldn't. It's Dead Island Riptide. I installed it. The end. That's it. I stuck with the disc in my machine. I can't even talk about it. I was gutted. It came late. I was hoping it was going to be my number 1, but I haven't fucking played it. I installed the disc, and that is it.
Shit.
Talk about it next week.
I haven't had a chance to play it. It's not been reviewing that well, but I like the first one. Whether or not I want to play the other one, I don't know.
I'm looking forward to it because I've seen the reviews, and they're the same sort of things that were said about the original, and I really like that as well. So I'm hoping it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I also enjoyed the Ferrari this week on Twitter because they released that rather vile statue, but it still makes me laugh how up in arms people get about it.
I saw that it's like, oh my god, they still released it. They never said they weren't going to. They'd already built them.
It's just because they apologised for offending people, and then stupid people assumed that meant that they weren't going to release it, and they're like, no, we're just sorry that you got offended. So yeah. So that made me laugh. My number 9 is a game called No One Has to Die on Newgrounds, which is a good place to go and play a bunch of games, which I never really thought of before, so I'm an idiot. Way easier than downloading stuff on iOS. This is one of the top-rated games on there. It is a very weird game that is about a bunch of people trapped in an office, and then you get to decide who lives and dies through a strange, almost like grid-based strategy. I did it about 5 times the first round, and too many people died, and it kept telling me I did it wrong, and I was like, this is wank. But it's got 4.5 stars from 38,000 ratings, so maybe it isn't wank. But I didn't really understand it. I'm too stupid to play it, but lots of other people like it. It's called No One Has to Die. I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm stupid.
The problem with ratings on browser games is that people who play browser games don't play any other kind of games, apart from maybe on Facebook and stuff. I don't know anyone who actually plays a lot of browser games that also has consoles in their house.
No, I mean, I was down at my wife's family's place last weekend, and I guess he's my nephew now, he's 12, 13, 12, 11, I don't know, that sort of age. he has an Xbox at home, but he was around his nan's, and so he just borrowed a laptop and just started playing games, and I thought, shit, if I was still that age, that's what I'd do as well. Go on a site like that with 10 billion games and just keep trying games until I found something that I liked. So, yeah, that's what inspired me to go on there and find something, but it was wank, so he's an idiot. He's not, if you're listening. You're right.
Fair point. Okay, my number 9 is a game called Retro City Rampage on the Xbox 360. Yeah. It has a hold over me. And at the same time as me, I think I'm going to play it until I complete it in very, very small increments. But
oh, great!
I genuinely think it's quite a poorly designed game. But then again, it's a downside of its ambition. It's too big for one guy to have created everything and it to all be of a decent standard. But it did something to me the other day that I've never. When I started it up again, I thought I'll have another go. I was on the bit where I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, or last week, where you're trying to escape from a prison, and these guards, they turn around, and it's a stealth part. It's so badly designed that I think the guy should have to do time in prison for it. Actual prison, but it made me do something I've never. I started the game up. I got to that bit. Oh God, here we go again. 5 seconds later, I failed it, and I said something aloud that I've never said aloud in my life. Never said it ironically. It's a sentence I've never uttered in my life before. I just said, "Suck my dick," because I was so angry. That's one of the worst pieces of any game I've ever played, and the fact that it's gotten a pass from some people. I actually think Retro City Rampage is actually more of a bad game than it is a good game, and despite that, I keep playing it. But I can understand that, if somebody, the fact that it's had such polarized people absolutely adoring it. Actually, do you know what? I don't think people have actually adored it. People have been quite kind to it, but I don't think anyone said that it's as good as. I think it's got a cult following, which is misconstrued as a critical consensus. But anyway. I can't not recommend it because I can't stop playing it. But by God, I don't think he's been given a kicking. What's his name, Provinciano or whatever it is, for making a game that's. But it's not his fault. He's too ambitious, and it's not his fault that he lucked out and got a fucking game with 1,200 Microsoft points. Yeah, I may talk about it again.
Every time you talk about it more, it makes me feel more nauseous.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't like talking about it either because it is actually. Maybe I hope he smashes it next time. I hope he's aware of what he's done wrong and right. Oh God, let's shut up.
My number 8 is it number 8? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardest game ever 2 on the iPhone. You played hardest game ever 1, didn't you?
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, this one's pretty tough as well. The first game on it, if you haven't played it, it's like WarioWare, but way too hard and not much fun. The first game was you had to tap the bottom 3 panels when the hand was in the right one. There's 3 at the bottom, and you could cheat it by tapping all of them, which is way more efficient than tapping the one it was actually in. The second game was 2 hands are playing rock paper scissors, and the second one wins. You have to tap the thing, whether it was like left side, right side, or a draw. And I did that a few times, and I thought I did quite well, and I was nowhere near the score to pass to the next level. So I was like, "Fuck you, hardest game ever 2. You ain't lying, but fuck you."
Yeah. Oh, is that it then? In the bin?
Yeah. No, that's that. I don't. Yeah, I've not played the fuck it. Yeah, hard. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, hard for the sake of it kind of irritates me.
Yeah, I mean, at least I don't lie.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was free.
Okay. All right. Okay. My number 8 is an Xbox Live indie game called Don't Die Pluto. This is a very weird game.
Disney game.
No, it's not. It's about the planet Pluto. It's very, very, very primitively made by a couple of kids, brothers, I think. The music is just a repeating piano riff. Of 2 or 3 notes over and over and over again.
Oh my God, that sounds like my own personal hell.
I thought that for a minute, and then as the game went on, I started to think this is really fitting. I was a little bit drunk when I played it. I just come home from the pub, and something about it really got me. And it's made by 2 young brothers who I think they're in their mid-teens or something. It's written in a way that I'm not sure whether they're just being really manipulative or a bit too candid and revealed a bit too much of themselves in it. But basically, it's in space, and at the beginning, the screen kind of lays all the planets out, and it's weird. It looks like they're all sat at a dinner table, and all of the planets are just ripping into Pluto for being small. I mean, like really ripping into him. And then this gust of pink, it looks like a Milky Way, comes and says, "Oh, don't worry, Pluto." And then he just starts berating himself, like she's just being nice because she doesn't want me to hurt myself, and it's like he's the most depressed person in the world. And then the game starts. I mean, it's a lot more in depth than that. But I was really like, wow, it's compelling. But at the same time, I'm like, is this? It almost feels like somebody's suicide note.
Yeah.
And then the gameplay starts, and it's like the iOS game. I can't remember the title, where you're a certain size and you absorb everything that's smaller than you.
Oh yeah.
So you're Pluto, and then you absorb like rocks and stuff, and you get bigger and bigger. And when you get to a certain stage, Earth says you're a threat. We're going to try and kill you. So you have to dodge rockets from Earth. The gameplay in entirety lasts probably about 4 minutes before you get to an ending, and then that's the end of the game. I don't want to spoil the ending in case anyone wants to play it. It's 80 Microsoft points. It's plenty interesting. I mean, I was a little bit hammered, but I was like, it's not quite profound, but I just thought, good on them for making that fucking bizarre game. I mean,
that sounds better than some of the shit that you play.
It's 80 points. I wasn't upset about spending that on it. But at the same time, it could really. I watched someone do a Let's Play on it today on YouTube, and they were just berating it. But then again, it's one of those kids that goes, "Wow, I'm playing Minecraft. Wow, look at that." But yeah, don't die, Pluto. I don't know if I recommend it. It's just I'm glad I played it. Fucking weird.
Minecraft. My number 7 is another Newgrounds game called Segway of the Dead. You play as a guy that looks a lot like Ryu. He's on a Segway, and he's trying to get through a bunch of zombies, and you have to tap D and the right fucking arrow as fast as you can to make the Segway go faster. And as he does it, he gives a running commentary about, I can't remember what he says, sorry. And then if you do it fast enough, you burst into this huge pack of zombies, and you're trying to get through the other side. But every time I did it, I couldn't do it, and I realised that maybe I'm just too old to tap things really fast anymore, because I swear I used to be pretty fast, and I'm not fast enough to do the first level on Segway of the Dead. So yeah, maybe my arms are just atrophying.
What was it? What do you have to do? Tap the mouse?
No, D and the right arrow on the keypad. You know, I used to be able to do that quite fast.
Yeah, you put the keyboard on your knee, and then you're just about getting the right angle in your arm.
True this. Yeah, you ain't wrong.
But I mean, who wants
first
to go?
Lev, think first Lev. Yeah, he's like, I gotta get more speed, and yeah, it's like I know, it's like I can't. I'm atrophying.
What's his What was the commentary?
That. He's like, more speed.
Oh,
I gotta get faster.
Oh shit!
It's all right. I mean, it's not, but it was free. It was on Newgrounds, Segway of the Dead. You know, it's a good name, good idea.
Yeah. When you said commentary, I imagined it being like the Grand National or something with him talking about.
That would have been better.
Yeah. What a shame. All right. Okay. And my number 7 is Trials Evolution. A friend of mine. I don't know why. Our mutual friend Nick picked this up. It was when it was in the sale, that's right, and he never got it. I completely forgot he never played it when we all played it, and he can't get off it, and he turned down Batters the other day to play Trials. So we jumped on and thought, let's have a look, and it just fucking grabbed me by the throat. I'd completely forgotten. You kind of take Trials for granted because it does slap you in the face so often. But what a fucking good game, and especially on multiplayer. I mean, they implemented that. And people were worried about it, but man, does it ever work?
Yeah,
such fun. I mean, we've spoken about it back in the day when it came out, but God, you just forget. I was like, I can't. But it's one of those you feel like why aren't we playing this every minute of every day?
Yeah,
that will dissipate if we keep playing it, I'm sure. But fuck yeah, impressive to see it again.
Yeah, that game is the shit. I never played the DLC packs that look really chunky.
Yeah,
full of content, but I never got them.
No, neither did I. But I don't know.
Came out a bit late.
They'll probably turn up in a sale or something.
Yeah, amazing game. Mm-hmm. Both that and its predecessor, the Top Boys. Number 6 for me is a game called, I'm pretty sure it's called this, Race the Sun, which is I can't remember why I ended up playing this, but there was a Kickstarter for the full version, and in the Kickstarter, I don't know why I ended up on this page. It's the second time I'd ended up there in my life, and. On the Kickstarter, it said that there was the originals on Congregate, which is the same as Newgrounds, probably isn't, but it's the same deal. Play it if you want. So I was like, all right. You're basically a ship going into the screen. It's 3D graphics, and you have to dodge shit. It's like an endless runner. Some quite cool music plays, and as you go faster, the music builds up, and basically you're trying to get as far as you can before the sun drops. Kind of like Tiny Wings, but different. It's all right, actually. I can imagine if they do make this full version, it'd be cool. It's kind of a bit like the aesthetic of F-Zero, kind of stark but all futuristic. The music's kind of thumping. It has some raise elements without being a shooter. It's all right. It's pretty cool. I would like to see the game. I think it has been funded, so I'm interested in playing the final version because it's going to have like the scenery starts to move and. I can't think of the good adjectives right now, but yeah, it's all right. If you want to check it out on Congregate, yeah, it's called Race to the Sun, or it might not be called that, but that's what I've written on my page. Facts.
So what platforms are going to come out on?
It's PC, Indie, Mac, Linux, all that deal, all that ting.
All right. Well, that sounds a bit more interesting than you gave.
Yeah, no, it's quite fun. I think you'd like it. Yeah, I think they need to sort out the balance of the sun goes down too quickly, so. Your game doesn't last long enough and it's quite hard, but there's a good game in there, definitely. And considering that version is just running in a fucking browser, the proper version does have some potential.
Yeah, for real.
Hypnotic.
All right, okay.
In a good way.
Yeah, that sounds all right. Okay, my number 6 is a game called God Mode on Xbox 360, also available on PSN and PC.
Yeah, I saw it on Steam.
What to buy?
Yeah, I just saw it on there. Yeah.
How much does it go for on Steam?
I think it was £6.
That sounds about right. Yeah, because it's 800 Microsoft points and then it's like $6.99 on PSN or whatever.
Yeah, it must be $6.99 then.
Yeah, I saw people talking about it on Twitter and I thought they were talking about a God mode in a game.
Right.
So I didn't realise it was a game. And I was just browsing the marketplace, so I just downloaded the trial. It's a really difficult one. It's do you know anything about it at all?
No, nothing.
It's set in hell. You're all dead. It's a 4-player co-op game basically, although you can play with one people. But it looks quite scrappy. You just basically run into an area and it's horde, and then you run into another area and it's horde. And the gunplay is quite nice. It's quite meaty.
What is it? Like a third-person shooter?
Yeah, it kind of looks a little bit like a really scrappy Uncharted. But it's God mode in between. The logo God mode has a Spartan helmet in the middle, and there's a lot of dark blues punctuated by kind of bright yellow and orange, like in God of War.
Okay.
So it looks a little bit of a mess. It's fun. I enjoyed it, and it's okay. I mean, I played the beginning of a 4-player co-op game. One person left, and then the game basically froze with all the NPCs marching into walls, and they couldn't be killed. So we just had to basically exit the game. It's Horde. I like the fact that it's 800 points, but it's one of those games that you already. I mean, fair enough. It's a good alternative to a brand new £40 game of that kind, but you can get great ones that are only a couple of years old for the same price or less. There's XP and unlocks and all that fucking shit that just feels kind of tacked on. It's difficult. It's a really difficult one because I want to like it, but at the same time, it doesn't do enough. It's another game of which there are way too fucking many.
Yeah,
and it's coasting off the back of. I mean, it really is trying to look like God of War. As much as a really low budget game can, but yeah, if you like the Uncharted multiplayer, or even God forbid the Tomb Raider multiplayer, this is and there's 4 of you. It's 4-player co-op. It's nice. Fucking hell, 5 out of 10. Even though I haven't played the full game, just the trial. The trial gets a 5.
Sweet. I'm not going to play it.
Good call.
For some reason, I thought it was going to be some sort of like top-down dungeon crawler. I don't know why, just from the name. But
it would have been more interesting.
Yeah, that sounds pretty potent. But all right, weird one for my number 5, Burnout Paradise on the PC. This Origin on PC is doing a St George's Day sale for some fucking reason. I don't know why. And this was the full Paradise edition or whatever it's called, complete edition. It was $250, and I had such fun playing Need for Speed, and I was a bit gutted that they're not doing any more races. So I thought $250 on PC. Yeah, that game has aged. Like, it's still fucking awesome, but in my mind it looked amazing. And this is like running at the highest possible settings on PC, and it just looks quite barren and empty almost compared to Most Wanted. There's none of the like cool visual effects are in there. It just looks like a real pin sharp video game. It's amazing how far graphics have come in the last few years, but even just playing like the first hour or so is so fun, and you forget some of the stuff that they did with Burnout Paradise. Like, the races don't have fucking checkpoints. It's just, here's a part of the map, get there, and if you take a wrong turn, unlucky, you can't restart. Like, they took some real risks and I know that pissed a lot of people off, but It's mad, especially having spent a lot of time on Most Wanted, which is a lot more user friendly. That they actually went for that stuff in Paradise, but saying that there's kind of more of a sense of fun and mischief in Paradise than there is in Most Wanted. No, I love both games, but I kind of miss that Burnout. It's kind of daft, Burnout, and I like that. That DJ Atomica guy is really annoying, but you kind of let him go because it's Burnout, and the bright blue skies, and it's all a bit silly, in a good way. I hope they do return to it one day.
Oh, the Burnout, they will. I think Burnout Paradise is a game that I didn't quite understand at first, and I wanted a more linear game. And then the longer it went on, I think I'd already got most Hot Pursuit, which is the game I wanted, before I realised how great Paradise was. Were you playing with people online?
No, it said the servers weren't working. I don't know if that means they're just not on anymore, or whether they just weren't working. But I imagine I'm going to do this a lot. Go, oh yeah, that's good for £2, which it is, and then just stack up my hard drive with games that I'll play for an hour once. I go, oh, wonder what that looks like on the PC, and it's almost worth it.
Yeah,
I'll probably end up spending like hundreds of pounds on absolutely nothing, but that seems to be what people do.
So I hear. You should at least try the bikes, because if it's the complete edition,
and it's got that whole new island that I've never been on. Because they did another island for it, didn't they?
Oh, of course they did. Fuck, yeah.
So I've never even been on that. So I didn't seem to have any of that stuff unlocked, so I'll dive into the menu when I put it on again and have a look. But yeah, I want to rag the bikes about, check out New Island, and then sort it done. I mean, I've put 30 plus hours into that game before anyway, but $250, that's cheap.
That is not bad. If they've turned the servers off, I mean, I always thought that game would live forever because there were always people still playing it, still discussing it. So if they've done that...
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine it came out at a time when PC gaming really wasn't that much of a big... There's nowhere near as much of a big deal as it is now, or it was previously. It was that kind of middle period. So I wouldn't be surprised if the console servers are still on, but they might have just turned off the PC servers because nobody ever bought it on PC.
Damn shame.
But doesn't matter. $250.
Okay, fair play. Fair enough. Okay, my number 5 is a game called Beat Hazard on iOS, and
I've heard of this. Have I heard of this? I think I have.
Possibly. It's also available on PC and Linux and Mac and Xbox Live Arcade, and I think PSN now. I've actually played it twice. The first time I played it, it was on Xbox Live Arcade. Xbox Live Indie. Right. It came up on my friend's Xbox as a recommendation, and it had some sort of snappy tagline that implied that you could play along with your own music. So it sounded like a shooter and a music game, and I was like, I'm all over it. Downloaded the trial. It kind of looks like like Geometry Wars, but everything's kind of grimy and brown, and it doesn't look particularly appealing, but the fire that comes out of your weapons and the explosions are all really, really neon and garish and sort of eye-popping kind of. It's a weird effect. It kind of looks cheap and nasty and quite flash at the same time. But it doesn't really... I mean, you play... There's some built-in tunes on the Xbox version, but the idea is that you play along with your own songs once you've unlocked the full version. There's some music on there. There's like a Ministry of Sound compilation on there, and then there's some old rap tracks that you get for free. Nice. And it's 80 Microsoft points. And I was like, this is all right. The only problem is that your music plays in the background, despite the fact that some of the enemies make sort of repetitive noises. It never goes to the music. It's just they just hope that... I assume they hope that maybe it would happen by accident. The only thing you can do to interact with the music is that along with the power-ups for your weapons, you can raise the volume, so the music starts quite quiet, and as you pick up these volume things, it gets a little bit louder, but that's not massively exciting. No. And it's just an okay Geometry Wars with a sort of... And you have your music playing in the background. I think you can do that on Geometry Wars anyway. So yeah, I wasn't. I mean, it's okay. It's nice enough. It just doesn't really do anything particularly special. Then I found out obviously then it comes up at the end saying it's also available in these formats. So I downloaded the iOS version. It's much better because you can have either a one stick. You can either play it as a one stick shooter where all the fire is proximity based. So if you get near anything, it has to. So it's all about where you're positioning yourself in the right place. That was quite fun. Or you can play it as a full on 2-stick shooter. And yeah, for some reason it felt better on the phone. The only problem is it's $2.99 on a phone.
Right.
Although it is quite crafty. The first level you play on the phone is like a sort of okay bit of dance music, and then the music's playing of the next tune as it's saying by now, and it's one by Metallica, and you're like, oh, that's a little bit crafty.
Right.
So it's like immediately you're supposed to think, yeah, all right. And there's hybrid tunes on there and stuff and everything. But
Okay.
it's
The game must be quite a big deal then if they've got
I think they've just sort
something like that in there.
They must have made deals. They must be giving away a little bit of the profit if these because I thought it was weird when I played the Xbox one. It's like Ministry of Sound, like 6 or 8 tracks from a compilation of theirs. The game's just not particular. I mean, for 80 Microsoft points, okay, $2.99, even though it's a
Hmm.
better version. No.
Yeah, tough call. That does sound quite cool though.
It's worth Beat Hazard. It's worth a look. I mean, if there's a free trial on iOS, I think there's a free trial on everything that's ever been invented to play video games on because it is on everything. But kind of disappointing, really.
Better than Matt Hazard?
I still haven't played that. I saw it on the marketplace for $11.99. I almost bought it.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah, no, you can get it for £2. Fuck that.
Yeah. Matty H. This game's definitely better than Matt Hazard. Number 4, Bioshock Infinite. Won't talk about it too much. Last week I talked about my woes of PC gaming. I've since taken that as like a learning period, whereas where I was having trouble with the games, I also was learning this whole new language as well of what all this shit means and how you need to run games on PCs and all that sort of stuff. So I'm less angry about it now, and I managed to get Bioshock Infinite running gleamingly. It's basically flawless now, quite easily in the end. It was I was stressing myself out unnecessarily, and fuck me, it's an absolute joke how good this game looks on PC. I just keep stopping, and just looking and just staring at it. Just go, oh, how can it look this good? To the point where I'm not even playing the game that much, but the combat's really fun. I'm playing it on hard, and the combat gets slated on that game. It's an easy thing to state because for some reason people want the game to be something that it isn't. And did you read Jim Sterling's piece on why the violence does actually make sense contextually in the game?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
really fucking good. That's I think that's the best thing he's ever written, because I've always thought he was a better talker than a writer. But really, really good, really intelligent piece. And totally agree with him. Even though I wasn't even like in the business of arguing for or against that. I just didn't care. But having read what he wrote, I was like, yeah, actually, that's bang on, mate. Anyway, the combat is really fun on hard, and it's tough and it's tight, and you have to use all the different elements together. And it isn't Halo, but what is? Really, that's the best. It ain't much. It ain't massively lower than that, and so marvelous in so many other ways. I've talked about it way too much in the last few weeks, but people need to they can enjoy what they want, but the backlash is tedious.
Yeah, no, I agree. Are you going to finish it?
Yeah.
Oh, fair play. Fair enough.
Oh yeah. It's like had a profound effect on me. This game. I just needed to get it all working, so I wasn't diving into the menu every 2 seconds to try and sort the graphics out and enjoying it properly. So I will be able to do that from now on.
Yeah, I haven't overdone those games, so I like to think that one day I'll do all 3 again, but unlikely.
Yeah, there's going back, like I said before, going back to the first one will be tough. So things have moved on a lot since then. But 2 was still fine when I played that.
Okay. All right. All right. My number 4 is a game called Happy Wars on the Xbox 360. It's the first Xbox Live free-to-play game. Have you heard of this?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Oh, you have. Yeah.
I think I've seen it on the Dash.
You probably have. There's 3 that they constantly tout about free games. There's there's the Doritos one, and there's the other one that I can't remember that I spoke about 2 weeks ago. My brain is fucked. A listener got in touch and said that you need to play it. It's free and it's better than Battlefield 3. And I was like, haha, yeah, hilarious. But it is actually better than Battlefield 3.
What?
No, of course it fucking isn't. Oh. It's. I'll tell you what. The first thing I think is that it either was intended to be a 3DS game, or it perhaps should be. The characters look like Mii's, and the noises they make are kind of like. It felt like I was playing a 3DS game that had been sort of upscaled at the last minute to a console. Do you know anything about it?
Nothing at all.
It's really simple, and there's some nice things that they've done. They've simplified something that would normally be quite complicated and made it really straightforward. So basically, it's your two teams of people. There is a story mode, but it's sort of a mock-up of what it would be like if you were playing online. Two teams, and there's these towers that you can sort of take over, and then they become spawn beacons. Then you have to get to the other team's fortress and basically take it over. So I don't know what it's like. What would you? I mean, it's such a staple. I mean, you could say there's elements of Battlefield to it because it's about capturing objectives and then using them as spawns and then trying to sort of. So it kind of, in a way, it's like Rush. But I'm sure there's more appropriate comparisons to be made. It looks all cartoony and sort of stuff, but they have simplified things. The way you can change attacks. There's only 3 classes, and they all do different things. One's a medic, one's a sort of ranged. What do they call the fucking ranged people who stand and sort of do spell? Mage. And one's a cleric. One's a warrior. It's one of those sort of things. It's hard to me. It's really. It just felt like a half-baked thing. The microtransactions aren't intrusive. The only thing that you can't get from playing the game are like just cosmetic outfits and stuff like that.
Okay.
The customization's like based on how much it's like one of those RPG systems where you can't weigh too much, but they've simplified it. And the other problem I thought is that as your rating raises, your weight cap goes, so the more equipment that you can carry. So as you start out, you can't carry anything, and it's just like if you're starting out, you're a bit fucked. It's just one of those games it's a mishmash of things, and it's impossible to get. It's impossible even for me to be bothered to be fucking talking about it, to be honest. I mean, it's nice that it's free, I suppose, if you're fucking looking for plus points. I mean, I will say this, that there's an eager community, because I basically only had one proper online game, and I sat in a lobby for 25 minutes. Because it doesn't let you play unless you have a full 24 players.
Right.
So we waited there, and everybody that joined sat in that lobby for 20-25 minutes.
Damn.
So people want to play it. And we played the first game for 1 minute, and then one person left and they said, "You can't play, there's not enough players." So we went back to the menu and we waited a few minutes and someone joined, and then we played again. It's just as it's probably very, very apparent, I don't have fucking anything to say about it.
These are the types of games you pick up in these dry spells when nothing's coming out.
Yeah, I'm glad I tried it, but
yeah, I won't be playing that. But whatever, free.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't hate. It's happy doing it. It's happy wars.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, the problem is that the best gameplay mechanic is when you're overtaking when you're sort of capturing an objective. You have to just hold one button for about 10-15 seconds. And the only excitement comes when you see the other team running towards you to try and stop you from doing it. You're like, whoa! But at least I could have hammered the button or something instead of just holding a button. It's not for me, so I shouldn't really have even played it. Bollocks.
My number 3 is Injustice, Gods Among Us. Is this on your list?
It's my number uno.
Okay. I played a bunch more after talking about it last week. Still like it a lot. I've come to the conclusion I don't think it's as good as Mortal Kombat 9, but I probably haven't played it quite enough to really finalise that. No, I have. I changed my mind. No, I don't think it's quite as good as MK9. I guess we'll talk about it more when we do your dealio.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Okay, all right. My number 3 is an Xbox Live indie game called Rad Raygun. Have you heard about this?
No, sorry. I thought it was like Reagan, like Ronald Reagan.
Well, actually, I think that's intentional.
Oh, okay.
As usual, it piqued my interest because the cover art was really cool. It was like a mocked-up picture of a Game Boy game. So it had the silver strip down the side, and it even had a fake little red little label, like a 99 cents or a 99 pence sticker. So it looked like it'd been bought from a second-hand shop, and it had like a tagline, "Stick it to the Soviets." So it's meant to be like a relic. And I thought that was cool, and I started the game, and I had no idea that it was this, but it's actually been made to look exactly like a Game Boy game. obviously, Game Boy games tended to look quite washed out. This actually looks really, really nice, albeit you could totally imagine it being on a Game Boy. And if you were really into that format, because, I mean, no one plays Game Boy games on retro anymore, so it's quite nice. It was really like, wow. And if you want, you can change the colour so it's all red or stuff like that. But as a technical achievement, they've really made something look like a GameCube game, albeit a better version. It's not so washed out and stuff. There's very, very vivid sort of shades in there rather than the crap you used to get on the Game Boy. It's a really nice. It's what Retro City Rampage should have been. It's a smash and grab operation. It's 4 or is it 5 levels? You can get in and get out. It's a side-scrolling platforming shooter. That's what it is. You're a little guy called Rad Raygun, and it's set in the 80s, and you have to go to Moscow, and you have to go to win the Cold War, basically. But it's just a stupid sort of cartoony little side-scrolling platformer. I mean, it's hard to know what to say about it. It's not amazing. There are some nice ideas in it, particularly this move that you've got where you sort of jump across large gaps, but you can only do it while you're facing backwards, which actually makes some of the moments really, really effective. But it's like you're in and out in half an hour, 40 minutes. There's some laughs in it. There were some really funny bits. I mean, there's this bit where you go to the USSR for the first time and you see this map, and like there's countries that they're just called like Doki was it Doki Doki Panic? Doki Doki Panic Stan, and there's a country that's just called Chicken, and it's very, very sort of no, you're being guided by there's an attack on the White House, and then from then on Ronald Reagan's telling you to go and sort out fix the Cold War, but I mean that's making it sound more elaborate than it is. It's just a really, really short and sweet little platformer, and if you have any sort of if you have fond memories of the Game Boy, it's really like, wow, it's really impressive. They even replicate that thing, where you'd move from screen to screen. It would sort of stutter a little bit as the frame moved across to move to the next level. It replicates that, and maybe it's because I never liked chiptune music, or maybe it's just because people are getting better at making it, and I think that's the case, the latter. But the music's really, really good as well. 80 Microsoft points.
That sounds quite good.
Really, really worth it.
Rad Raygun.
Yeah, and it doesn't piss around. You get in, you get out. I like it. I like that a lot. Really good.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
Nice, that sounds all right. That sounds good. Talking to the 80s, Segway is a better Segway than Segway of the Dead. Number 2 for me, Hotline Miami, a game that I once again returned to find out that when I played it the first time on PC, that it was so fucked that huge chunks of the game were missing.
What?
So that's how fucked this game was. I wondered why I couldn't do it, and it's because I played it again. I don't know why I put it on. I decided, I was sitting there looking at the Steam library, and I was like, just for some reason, I will play Hotline Miami. It didn't have my save, so I had to start again from the beginning. Did the first level like I'd done on the Mac the other week, like I'd done on the PC ages ago, whatever, just getting through it. And then I was like, I don't remember this bit at all. I just really don't. And then I got another mask, and then the next level came up, and I was like, I definitely haven't played this. And huge chunks had just somehow not been in the original version that I'd played. So then I start to play it, and it starts to make sense. It's giving me more masks, which basically give you perks. So you might have the perk of swinging through a door and hitting someone that will kill them instantly, or dogs won't don't attack you, stuff like that. Your punches can kill in one hit, these sorts of things. And there's no bugs now, and suddenly the game makes sense, and I suddenly start to understand why it reviewed so highly, because the game that I'd played wasn't the fucking game. So it's still appalling that they released it in that state, and it does still have some problems. You have to turn off Steam, otherwise the game won't work. But regardless, I ended up playing almost the whole thing in one sitting. I'm right at the end. And it's fucking fantastic. Super tense. It's everything that I wanted the game to be, and the game sometimes was, but kept fucking me over. And also, it's like trying to play an incredibly hard game without the perks that make it slightly easier before. Now I have all those perks. So way more variety. It's a fucking great game, and it's just taken. I don't know why I put it on again. I really don't, but I'm very glad that I did, because tremendous fun. Really tense, strangely tactical, taking out a floor of bad guys. It's sort of halfway between strategy, a bit of blind luck, sort of bravado as well, and then tonally, it's brilliant. The music is fucking amazing, as I said before. The way the music stops, and then you just get this like jarring, swirling, like come down noise as you walk back through the house, and all these dead bodies are everywhere to get back in your DeLorean, and it's over the top, and it's potentially almost to the point of being pretentious, but not in the way most like games are. It's sort of chin scratchy, shoegazy type of way. It's way more like ostentatious and sort of very consciously. It's very self-conscious, but. Yeah, I get it. I'm just really glad I put it back on. I'm going to finish it. I'm right at the end, and wouldn't be surprised if I went through it again, because I think the whole thing can be done in a few hours if you get your head around it. But yeah, the tunes, wicked. So I'm very glad. Yeah.
Is it fixed now because they've patched it, or because you're not playing on a shit old battered PC this time?
Well, probably they patched it. I don't know what the hell was going on, but this is not a game that looks. It doesn't require any grunt, you know. I played plenty of games on that old PC, which were fine, that also didn't require any grunt. And this is like the worst looking game out of all of them. It looks like it's on the Master System. So quite why I suddenly need an expensive PC to make the thing work, I've got no idea. But regardless, it now does work, and it's a wicked game. Okay. As everyone had been saying all along. And it's difficult to review a game or take it seriously when huge chunks of it don't exist and you have no idea that they're not there.
Yeah, that's pretty wacky.
Yeah,
I do wonder what. It can't have been the game itself, though. It must have been partially that.
There's reams and reams of forum text on how all these different issues that people are having with it. So maybe I would just happen to have the most issues out of everybody. But yeah, it was released in a bad state. They should not have released it in that way. But it's coming out for Vita very soon and PS3 very soon.
Okay. I've heard so much about the fact that it won't work as well on a pad.
I'd be interested to see.
If the word's positive, that's what I'm going to go with. I've been waiting for that for an excuse, so I'll do that. Okay, my number 2 is Battlefield 3. Every week I say I'm not going to talk about it, and then I go on to talk about it. So I'm not going to talk about it.
Bollocks. Are you actually not?
No, I can't. No, I have nothing to say. It's
watch Chet's Weekend Batters, though, for fuck's sake. That's where all the action is. Do it. Number 1 for me. It's been a quiet week. I'm not going to lie. It's been a quiet week. There's not been a lot of new games. I didn't get Dead Island. Chet just decided to install it and not play it because he hates you.
Yeah.
Number 1 for me. Far Cry 3. The Battle of the PC is won by John. It's got the game running smooth. It looks fucking magnificent. Very happy. Everything just makes me happy. Still probably diving into the graphics menu about once every 20 minutes, but that's me. That's my problem. Brilliant game to play through a second time because you can just do it in bite-sized chunks. I've been playing do one camp here, I'll do a mission and a hunting thingy, whatever they're called, Path of the Hunter, whatever, there, play it for an hour here, and it just keeps stacking up. And because it looks so good, it's like it is a better experience than it was playing it on the console. It took a while to get there. I had to go through some shit to get it to this state, but now I have very, very happy with everything about it. And we've talked about why Far Cry 3 is good, and there's nothing about this version that is any different or any better. It's just the equivalent of before I was playing it on VHS and now I'm playing it on Blu-ray. That's what it feels like to me. And yeah, man, when you're creeping through the forest and it looks like that, fuck me. And then Blood Dragon's out next week. Yeah. Yeah.
I assume the PC version's got multiplayer, right?
It does, yeah. It has all that shit, but I've not tried any of it because I don't care.
Did you try it on Xbox?
Did I try it on Xbox? Yeah, very briefly, and I was like, I'm not going to play this, I don't care. I played the co-op for a bit, and it seemed like it was going to be a bit shit, and then I heard it was very shit. So, yeah, I don't care about any of that stuff. I will slowly pick my way through the single player over the rest of the year, and then, yeah, Bloody D's is out. Very excited. We haven't had a chance to play it, unfortunately. I know some outlets have it, but yeah, I don't. But I'll happily lay down my $1 for that. That looks sweet.
No one knows how much it costs yet, do they?
I think it's £12 on Steam.
So that means it will be
$1,200.
Is that why? It's so confusing. That is right, isn't it? Yeah.
That's the good thing about Steam and PSN. Actual money that you can understand.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was 12 quid equates to roughly 1,200 Microsoft points. It's just that there's that moment. That's why it's such a genius idea, because you just fucking spend money like it's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll play Far Cry 3 again.
It's a very good game.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, well, okay, my number 1 is Injustice Gods Among Us, as we said. I fell mad in love with it after I started the campaign. I can't believe how many terrible wisecracks are in it.
Yeah.
And how the dialogue is not... That's all they talk in. All of the characters, there's a kiss-off line every 2 seconds. That's how they talk to each other. It's like, wisecrack, wisecrack. I was like, this is just brilliant. How can you not love a game where it's just shit banter the whole way through? I mean, I laughed repeatedly, and there was a point where I was going to grab a pad and start writing some of them down, because it is fucking cheese-a-thon.
Yeah, it's the purest ham I've ever seen.
But I just loved it. I was like, I can't believe... I mean, because it didn't stop. There'd be like a long sequence with like a table full of them sat around, and it's just fucking terrible fucking... They're not really gags, they're just kind of like the kind of thing that a 12-year-old would think was the coolest sort of comeback of all time, but they're just really quite lame. But oh god, I loved it from the get-go. And yeah, the game, I haven't played it quite enough to discern whether I think it's better on Mortal Kombat. At the moment, I think it's on a par. And technically, as I think you said last week, the stability of the netcode is superior straight away. It already feels like they had it ready to go, and there's no fucking dicking around with all that other shite, like lag and all that, whatever. So I haven't experienced it anyway. The only problems with it really is that what did you build like your bar to get your specials up and stuff.
Yeah.
When you did that to a certain level on Mortal Kombat, didn't you have the X-ray attack? Was that what that was? I can't remember if that was a different meter or whether it was just 2 of the 3 bars.
I can't remember, I can't remember. I thought, didn't you have the really powerful one, and the other ones you could do like EX attacks as you built it up, but then the top was the X-ray attack.
Yeah, the EX attacks are kind of like what this has got, but they're really a little bit... They seem really underpowered and pointless. I don't know why anyone would use them. Yeah, I was just like, why would I do that? Do you do a special move and then just press R and it gives it a little bit more power?
Yeah, or some of them I think they cancel so you can continue your combo, but they're not as cool as the MK ones or Street Fighter ones. No, yeah. I'm surprised they included some of them, to be honest. Visually, it's really nice, but some of the buildings and like some of the backgrounds lack detail. It's nothing drastic. It looks. It's just the time we're in. They've got to cut corners somehow, and you do notice that sometimes when there's a little bit of a little bit sort of less lavish than they probably wanted it to make. I really love the QTEs in the campaign. Incidentally, when a cutscene would turn into like Superman throwing batarangs, or the green man with a bow and arrow. What the hell's his name? The Green Arrow.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
The Green Arrow. Fucking
hell.
Yeah,
he's full of gags.
Yeah. To be honest, I could listen to an audiobook just of the cutscenes of that, because it really is pure.
They've got some shit characters as well in the DC roster. When you get out of the good ones. Shazam.
Yeah, and there's one called
Cyborg. Cyborg's
like,
terrible.
What a great name for a character. Jesus Christ.
Fucking Hawk Girl.
Yeah, they were sort of grasping at straws a little bit, but...
There'll be some comic book guys out there like, no, Hawk Girl is excellent. But, but yeah, I don't rate Hawk Girl myself. Black Adam.
Oh yeah, I mean there are definitely some. There are some fucking wet characters in it. There's no doubt. I don't know. There probably would be if Marvel did the same thing. Would there? I mean,
well, they have.
What?
Marvel versus Caps.
Oh yeah, but I mean, that's why I think that this is so much different than if it had half Mortal Kombat characters, because it feels like that. I don't know if a Capcom, a Marvel, if they'd probably had the same problems. There's a lot of fucking characters in this. I mean, how many are there playable? I mean, there's going to be DLC as well and all that shit. So fucking hell, I can't wait to see what DLC characters come out.
Maybe they'll just do Penguin and Riddler, because they're in one of the levels, aren't they? When you smash through the door,
actually, you know what? That's almost certainly what will happen. But I'd love to see like a bad guy who was a bad guy in one episode of one comic that no one read, and he's just the lamest Lamest guy in the world, that big leap. The wagers, which I didn't initially understand, I now absolutely love them because you have to use your special. You have to. It's so hard to explain. And for a while, I didn't even understand it myself. But basically, if you go into a wager and your opponent has more, the worst scenario you can get into is if you do a special, like a combo, and then the other person does a wager, because they'll instantly win because they can't wager anything because they've got nothing left. And doing it just before the end of a match and seeing them trying to get them before doing it online, I'm talking about. Doing your special, thinking you're going to kill them, they've still got a little bit of health, and then them doing a wager match on you at the last second, it's like, oh, you motherfucker! Yeah. It's really cool because it's a really, really nice trade-off. Initially, I thought it was a bit more pointless than it actually ultimately is. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it is a reskin. If you want to be really unkind, it's a reskin of Mortal Kombat, but I'm really loving it. And
yeah, I definitely keep hold of it, and want to play it some more. Yeah, I went online and Black Adam smashed me up, so I wasn't happy about that at all. But I do like it a lot. I rate it. I love the fact that they do that with their story modes. I love the fact that they're still making these games. It's very cool. It's got to number 1 in the charts. That means nothing, obviously, but hopefully it's done all right.
Yeah.
It's a funny game to come out, but
yeah. It's and just fun, and I like. I think it's a great game that you can. It's exactly that same balance that Mortal Kombat had, where you can just pick it up and have a really decent go if you're just fucking blindly button mashing, but at the same time, it's a kind of a circusy. Mortal Kombat was always kind of like a bit like a circus, all the fucking weird shit you'd see, and this is very much the same thing with all the interactive backgrounds and all that. I think they've really put a lot of fucking work into it, and it's paid off.
Yeah, I like them because the Capcom games are losing me a little bit recently. It's like they came so strong with Street Fighter 4 and obviously Super Street Fighter 4. Then Marvel doesn't do it for me. That Street Fighter Cross Tekken I like for a bit, but.
You peel away at that though, and you start to realise I think they've tried to do too much. They've been too ambitious. All that gem stuff.
The gem stuff was one bit too. I just don't have the time. My brain. I don't like tag fighters very much. I don't think anyway. And then obviously all the Tekken games are really good, but they're the same. Soul Calibur was always the same. So it's good that there's these guys out there doing their own thing.
But yeah, very good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you won't be disappointed if you like fighting games or Black Adam.
Correct.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
That's it.
60 in a can. What the hell? Thank you very much for listening. As always, don't check out the website. There's nothing on it. But you go there if you want anyway. It's at thefiniteplaylist.com. The Twitters, at John Denton, at Chet Roivas, at Chet and Johns. It's 3 of them. Facebook's a thing. And don't forget to watch shit on YouTube. The Chet and John channel. Watch Chet's Week in Batters. Check it.
Check it out. Right, thanks for listening. Dead Island Riptide next week instead of this week. What a shame. I'm sorry about that. It's not my fault. Game late, blah, blah. You know the deal. Genuine Champ. Go on, see you later.
Bye.
Bye, goodbye. Genuine Champ. Go on, see you.
Interrupting tonight's entertainment, Raven.
I detest violence, Luther, but I'm even less fond of you.
Thought you'd have this mess cleaned up by now. Name's Cyborg, not Miracle Worker.
Green Arrow. What was that? Thunder of the Gods, Flash. Thunder of the Gods. What does that make us?
Superman, report.
It's done. The others are mopping up. I'm taking Doomsday into deep space.
Make sure it's very deep space.